Hey everyone, happy not Friday. It is Saturday. This is not my normal stream time, but it's a special day of the year. So I thought, why not celebrate a quilting holiday, or I'm going to call it a holiday, with some friends while we play with some jelly rolls. If you're not sure who I am, maybe you've never been here before, this is your first time catching a live stream. First of all, welcome. I love that you're here with us. Normally, when I do a live stream, I am usually by myself and I go live every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But tonight, I've got a few special guests that probably need no introduction if you've been around my channel for a little while, but we will give them a chance to tell you who they are in just a moment. Today is National Jelly Roll Day. If you don't already know this, it's a holiday that quilters celebrate where you grab a jelly roll and you sew something together. And if you ask me, this is probably dreamt up by a whole bunch of quilt shops that want to sell more jelly rolls. But I'm here for it because that's going to give me a chance to do some shopping and some sewing. And what better way to celebrate any occasion than to get some fabric and put it under your needle? Tonight, we're going to start off with to my this way. I know it is this way on my calendar, my camera. We're going to start off with introductions with Donna from by Ying. Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm doing really well. And thank you, Becca, for inviting me. This is going to be so much fun.
I'm glad to have you here. Do you want to tell people a little bit about what you do on the YouTubes before we move on to someone else?
Sure. My name's Handmade by Ying, in case anyone doesn't know. And I'm sure in the description box, Becca will have all of our channel links. And I make quilts, I quilts, I even try to throw down in the kitchen with the flamethrower from time to time. So basically, I specialize my channel in FPP and I do a lot of legit kits. So that's pretty much where my quilting journey has taken me.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to have you here today, and I can't wait to see what you're going to work on. But we're going to save that until we get through introductions. Let's move to the wonderful lady underneath me in my box, the one and only Sassy Stephanie, who also has been known as Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilter. Gosh, Stephanie, I can't talk today. How are you doing, hon?
Hello. I am okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Thank you also, Becca, for having me and with my co-creators, Sean and Donna.
Thank you.
I am glad to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here too. You want to talk to us a little bit about your YouTube journey? What do you do? What do you create? What could people look forward to from you?
Over on MLAQ, you will come and wind down. It's going to be nothing more than a chill out session. You guys going to come and wind from every Tuesday at 7 when I come back. Come and we'll chill out together. We'll grab a project, work on it, chit chat back and forth. So it's all going to be like a sew and chat. But I do long arm quilting and work on plenty of projects here at the sewing machine. So I look forward to coming back and just sewing with each and every one of you.
And you were the guest feature in the traveling quilt collab for September. So your
Yay!
video for your row dropped on the first ish of September. If they haven't checked out that
Mhm.
video, there's a playlist at the bottom somewhere on my YouTube channel, but it is also on my website on the main page right there. You can check out her video if you haven't seen
Yes.
that already.
Yes, go check out that video in that row. It's cute, y'all. It's cute.
And
Love
then
it.
rounding out the panel with none other than Sean, the guy who sews. You can't have a quilting panel without having the token guy, right? Sorry, Sean,
Exactly.
Right.
you're the token guy.
Hey, I'm happy that I'm here. You know, it could have been Ian or one of the other wonderful male quilter friends that you have, and I'm honored that you brought me along on this. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I see enough of Ian. Want to tell people about your YouTube journey and what they can expect from your channel?
Okay, so I am basically just showcasing my quilting adventure. What I do during the week, you get to see on a Sunday morning on my podcast. And then me and all my quilty friends get together on a Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. Yes, I know that is scary early, but I like to think that I'm kicking off the quilting weekend every weekend. I bring on a guest. We just sit and have a nice chat. It's always a lot of fun. It's always really cool to see each and every person in the audience that comes and interacts with me each and every weekend because it really is like a big group of mates just hanging out together.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So all three of you have talked a little bit about how you're using your YouTube channels to build community. So maybe that'll be a topic we talk a little bit more about as we get through. But I know nobody wants to hear us just talk about community and be boring. They want to see what we're working on. And so the format tonight is going to be this 4-person setup. I'm not going to be spotlighting anybody. We're not going to make anybody big. I apologize. I'm not going to do that because I'm just going to take the keyboard and put it out of my reach. I'm only going to keep the mouse here when I need to get to comments. I do have them here, so I will be able to see the chat. Don't forget, if you want to ask any of us a question, I'm sure all 4 of us are looking at the chat. Make sure you tag the person that the question is for, and we'll try to work those in too. Let's see what you guys are working on. So I want to know who wants to go first. What fabric did you pull? What jelly roll do you have? And what are you going to do with it?
Ladies first.
Oh, Sean just said ladies first. Well, I see fabric in Stephanie's hand, so she has to go first.
I am working with a oldie but goodie. This is a vintage, okay? A vintage fabric. Not that vintage, but it's called Chelsea by Robert Kaufman.
Ooh.
And it's these pretty blues and creams.
Dibs? Can I have that?
And
I'm calling dibs.
And I'll be working on the free pattern by none other than Fat Quarter Shop, and it's called Chill Out. And it's this baby right there.
Okay.
So if you're, with the railroad concept, yeah, and I do, and I needed this chill out. So what better project to work on than that?
You might have me rethinking my project. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's pop up to Donna. Donna, what are you working with? What are you going to do? It's not going to be a legit kit. It's got to be something else.
I am working with a place and time. Is that not fitting?
Yeah.
And of course,
that looks like Christmassy.
It is.
It's good.
And I'm thinking outside of the box, and I am not going to share because I don't have a pattern. I'm just going to wing it and see where the journey takes me. But look at this delicious fabric. And this might just kick us off into the holiday spirit.
I'm picking up what you're putting down there, Donna.
Do I?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yes, I am. You know what?
All right. Well, if that's all you're going to share and you're not going to talk about anything else.
I can't share anymore because I am just going to create. I am going to wing it. I don't have a pattern. And anybody that knows me, it's going to be straight from up here. And it's going to be delicious. I promise.
Not a problem. Cool. All right, Sean, your turn.
Okay, so when it comes to jelly rolls, I am going to admit I've used a jelly roll once in my quilting adventure. And I only own one jelly roll, which was actually a gift that was given to me many years ago. And it's been sitting in my little box back there for years. And I figured one day I'd find a use for it. And then Becca contacts me and says we're doing a jelly roll challenge. So it's like, okay, well, I guess, the 21st of September is when we got to do it. So it is Moda Fabrics Grunge Silver Linings.
That's pretty.
It's a nice series of, it starts with white once the camera focuses. Come on, be nice to me. And then it turns into grays, dark grays. I don't think it quite goes to black, but it's just going to be a series of grays. And I've always wanted to work with more grays, black, like a black and white quilt. So I think today is what we're going to do. And as for a pattern, I mean, I went back and forth on this. I was thinking about it on the drive back down from Williamsburg that we went to earlier today. And I think I'm just going to do a very simple, small panel with a bear paw. I figured this would look really nice as a bear paw pattern. And because I want to finish it soon, not languish until, the end of time.
I love that. That's awesome. And also, like, the bear paw, let's just talk about that for a moment, because I feel like you started out your journey with a bear paw block, didn't you? That was one of the first tutorials you did.
It was actually one of the first quilts I attempted. I actually put that quilt aside for about 5 years because I could not do the half square triangles. They were not fitting together. I just did not have the sewing ability or that whatever I'm trying to say at that time. So I put it in the sin bin or timeout for 5 years, and then I pulled it out once I had more experience and I was able to put that quilt top together. It still needs to be quilted, but the quilt top's done. So I figured, let's give it another try.
Yeah, all
Cool.
right. Hey, I'm here for it. Let's see what you got. I'm excited.
Yes.
So I guess it's my turn to talk about what I'm going to be working on. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to stick to the pattern. I might be winging it and switching it up. We'll see. So when I went to a local guild show, I stopped by the boutique area and I did one of those bidding things. But I did the buy it now at price, and I got this big old bucket of fabric. And inside of it were 4 jelly rolls, 2 1 yard cuts of an accent fabric, and 2 1 yard cuts of border fabric. So, and then 2 copies of this pattern. So it was 2 quilt kits inside of this thing that I spent $80 on. So I call this my $40 quilt because the kit only cost me $40 because 40
Right.
times 2 is 80. But the pattern is Line Dance from Jordan Fabrics. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure that I want to make this one. We'll have to see, because I really would like to sew a little bit tonight, and all I've done is starched my fabric. I have not cut it. So we'll see what we do. But I do have a jelly roll of this beautiful purple and blue batik fabric from Hoffman Batiks. There's lots of goodness in here. Lots of blues and some purples, and that's really all I'm going to show you. And then I have a jelly roll, an entire jelly roll of white, and I have this purple accent fabric. So I have enough here to make that pattern, but Stephanie held up hers, and I was thinking, oh, what if I did like a rail fence? That would be
There you
fun,
go.
right? That would be fun. So we'll see. I do want to facilitate dialogue a little bit. So maybe it's a good thing that I'm not going back and forth. So maybe my time here will be spent just kind of cutting. I think the big struggle that I have is the cuts that I need out of my jelly roll strips are pretty big, and my cutting mat is not terribly big. So I'll have to work around that. But I think I can be up for the challenge.
That's why I did a small one.
Hey, listen, small's great, but I guess I just tend to go a little bit bigger. Speaking of small quilts, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
when did you get your quilt turned in?
I did. It's up there. It's going to be hanging near yours. Basically, I figure what's going to happen is they're going to have first, second, and third hanging in a row, and yours is going to be there somewhere. And then mine might be hanging next to yours, and mine might not. But it's going to be hanging up there, proudly displayed for the entire Commonwealth of Virginia to see. And we're going to have some fun with it. So, yes, Becca and I had a challenge. I challenged her to put a quilt into the State Fair of Virginia. She accepted, and we're going to have some fun to see how we both did.
Yep. Sean made a quilt. He's showed it on his channel, so you'll have to check out his channel if you want to see what the quilt was. I've made a quilt as well. I made a cathedral window, and I did do a video tutorial on that in case you want to see what that looks like. I've called mine Twilight Sparkle, and I got to tell you, there was almost a moment where that quilt did not make it. The quilt got accepted, and we were going to mail it. And so I wasn't really worried about it. I wasn't tracking anything. I was waiting for the address to mail it to come through my email, and I hadn't gotten anything. And Sean's just like, oh, I would have expected you to drive it down and drop it off today. I was like, why? He's like, because they're due. I was like, what? So I had a bit of a frantic moment, but fortunately the ladies at the state fair made a slight exception for me, and I was able to get it overnighted and sent down to the center of Virginia, and it was received a day after they were supposed to receive it. But it was received, it was delivered through FedEx, and I am really excited to see it hanging at the state fair. I'm excited to see it hanging at the state fair. I'm curious though, Sean, when do you know, because you've won ribbons from the state fair before.
Okay, so when do I know? Well, normally I go up there fairly close to the beginning of the fair and find out. That probably won't happen, unfortunately, this year because I have another event that I'm going to attend next weekend because this fair opens next Friday. So I'll probably find out when I go up there. Sometimes they release the results online midway through the fair, but generally it's the end of the fair. So we'll probably find out within the next 7 to 14 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we will see. Now, someone might sneak up there and spill the tea. You never know. But yeah, we'll just have to wait just a little bit longer. But I'm really at peace with it. You know, if I get a ribbon from it, fantastic. I'd be ecstatic. But if I don't, it's okay because the level of competition that's the state fair has these days is so much better than it was even 5 years ago. And but that's a good thing. It's good to see that that quilt show is growing.
Listen, I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. There better be a ribbon on mine. I'm just saying, there better be a ribbon. I don't care if it's
I think
last
that.
place. Like,
Hold on a
if
minute. Sean,
Yes, ma'am.
does anybody get in trouble for stealing ribbons? I just need to know.
Well, okay, so you're going to need about a 20-foot ladder because they actually hang them all from the sky. And the doll quilt, which is the section we added it into, is right next to the front door and it's right above your head. So unless you got a 15-foot ladder, you won't be stealing any ribbons.
Oh,
That's
I'm
okay.
not. I just figure back might try.
Yeah, because
You know what? I'm figuring if
I
there's
may
no
have
ribbon
stolen
on
ribbons.
hers,
I may have stolen
She
a quilt
has
ribbon.
been known to snag a ribbon here and there.
well, I figured if nothing happens to her quilt, I'll be disappointed. I may just have to order a custom participant ribbon and mail it to her house. So she'll get a ribbon one way or the other. That's kind of my viewpoint on it.
Now,
Do you like
which quilt did you enter, Becca?
a cathedral window? It's called Twilight Sparkle. But more importantly, do you like my ribbon?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
She stole it.
No, I borrowed it.
Didn't it come from Kansas?
No. So Ian has been sending packages that he doesn't want to move or doesn't want the movers to move to my house so that when he gets to the area, he can just stop by and pick them up. And one of his quilts was on display in Maine at Rachel Nelson's quilt show. She might be in the chat tonight. So she had his quilt up there and that quilt show ended a few weeks ago, and he really didn't want the quilt to be sent back to his house because he was afraid that it would just be too much. And he's like, you know what, if you've got to mail it anyway, save the postage, save the issues, and just mail it to Becca's house. So the box showed up on our house. Rachel mailed it here, or maybe she mailed it to the PO box and I got it. Either way, it was in the area and I got it. And so we were talking and I was like, do you want me to take that quilt out of the box and just air it out so it doesn't stay folded up for a month or so while you're packing up and leaving Texas? And he said, no, it'll be fine. It's just a bed quilt. It's already been washed anyway. It wasn't a big deal. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, in the time since that discussion and me now having a ribbon, we had we had a discussion and he decided to join the guild that I'm a member of, which is Cabin Branch Quilters out of Lake Ridge, Virginia. The Cabin Branch Quilters is having a guild show the same weekend that we're going to the state fair. So it'll be Saturday, October 5th to Sunday, October 6th. And I have 3 quilts that are going to be hanging at that show. I'm really excited about that. And he decided, you know what? Why not join and get my quilts entered into the show as well? Because I told him, I was like, Ian, you already have a quilt here. You could have that hang at the guild show anyway. And he was like, okay, yeah, why don't we do that? So he filled out the form. And because he filled out the whole form, I had to open the box. And lo and behold, right on top of that beautifully folded quilt, there was a ribbon from the guild show that the quilt hung in. And so
But you didn't tell him, right?
I may or may not have taken the ribbon and hung it on one of my own quilts in my sewing room. I may or may not have taken selfies with it and sent it to him. So
wink, wink, and he may or may not kill you when he arrives.
I mean, listen, if this beautiful purple ribbon is misplaced. Anyway,
Well, you do realize that in Virginia, purple is best in show, right?
Oh, well, doggone. Let me just put this back on.
I don't have one, but someone else in my family has one.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Miss Amanda has one for one of her shawls she made a couple of years ago.
Oh, congrats.
Yes,
Miss
I'm super
Amanda is a
proud of her.
prolific quilter. Prolific.
Knitter.
What did I say? Quilter. I meant knitter.
Quilter, yeah.
I'm so sorry, Amanda. If you're listening, which you're not, because I see Sean has headphones on, and I'm not embarrassing myself in front of you, but I did embarrass myself in front of everybody else. So sorry about
That's
that.
all right. Hey, no one's perfect.
Except for me.
Except for you.
Oh, did
yes.
I say that out loud?
I'm sorry, the ribbon theft.
You did say it was best in show,
Ribbon
Sean.
spoke.
Yeah, it won't be. I don't think they'll be any. I don't think they'll be hanging on my quilt somehow.
Uh-oh.
She may be taking that one to the show and figuring out a way to hook it up.
You know, what if I took that ribbon to all of the shows that I go to and just like superimpose my hand holding the ribbon in front of it?
Some set of flat Jenny or flat Nancy, you gotta have flat ribbon.
Yeah.
Like, I brought my own, thank you very much.
I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I brought my own. I don't need yours.
Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you. Ignore the thumb in the photo.
And I did make more than one quilt, you know. All the cool ones. You can just tag it real quick.
Oh, so funny. So funny. All right, I'm going to start cutting. We're just going to make the line dance because that's what my original plan was. So I'm going to start cutting out my accent fabric. And right now, this is a free pattern, by the way, that apparently you can download. That, though I will tell you, I could not find it on, I even went to the Jordan Fabrics video and I clicked on the link for the pattern and it wasn't there. But I did link to the video from Jordan Fabrics in the description box down below. So I will just say what I'm cutting because it's a free pattern for everyone. I'm cutting 9 2.5 inches strips out of my accent fabric. All right.
Since mine is a free pattern, I have to make 8. I repeat, 8 5-set strips. So
Dragonflies for Donna said, Becca, maybe you could design a quilt that is just a big blue ribbon. You know what? I like that idea.
I know Donna comes up with some good ideas.
I like that idea. And then if you want to make it best in show for Virginia, you could just do it with purple fabric.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad you've thought that far ahead. Just saying.
Well, you know.
It's sad that you guys didn't choose me, so I made my own. Made my own self feel good about this situation.
Could you imagine that being entered into the quilt show? The name of the quilt is Judge's Choice.
That one is orange and purple, I believe. But you know what? I might just have to do this now. This is sounding like a good idea.
Wait, but what if it was a block and not a quilt?
Becca hooked him in.
I'm liking this idea.
What if we called it My Trophies and we made the ribbon a quilt block and you make it in all sorts of different colors and you just put it all over the quilt?
That, or you could do a purple one, I'll do a blue
second,
one.
Third.
That would be interesting.
I can't stop making me laugh. I'm trying to cut fabric.
Hey, we're dangerous together.
Oh, shoot. I just like how I keep coming up with things where you're like, well, actually, what? Stop it, Sean.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We still love you.
All right, Dragonflies for Donna says, wait, someone owes me a quilt like that for the idea. Okay, we'll talk. All right, now where did my magic ruler go?
Becca's next release pattern will be.
I'm calling it now
And-
already. My trophies.
Yes, and everybody, please make sure that credits do go to Donna.
Yes.
It's really Donna's dragonfly, but you can just throw Donna so I feel special.
Oh, wouldn't that be great to get like a little tiny FPP dragonfly and put it down in the lower right corner, like she
Right-hand
signed
corner.
the quilt?
Yes. So when this pattern comes out, everyone,
You
will
would know.
You'll
all
know
right,
the
here's
inside
what it's
joke.
going to look like. You ready?
Yeah, we're watching.
They
Oh.
play well together.
Oh, very
I see
nice.
that.
Good
Scotty Dog says
looking.
he likes Judge's Choice better. I'll take that, but maybe I want to.
Yeah, that was one thing. I was talking to the superintendent last year, and they have an award up there as well. I think there's like a judge's choice, but there's also a superintendent's choice, and that is a quilt that she picks that has not won a ribbon. So even if you don't place first, second, third, or in some cases highly commended, like the pretty green one behind me, there is one quilt she gets to pick that still gets a ribbon, and that's that nice orange. And
So where do I send chocolates? That's what I want to know. I need a plan B.
Yeah, well, I'll have to find out. I don't know what her home address is, unfortunately.
Okay, great. What's her name?
Work
I have the
address will
mailing
work.
address for the fair.
Okay, her name is Cheryl English, and she's a lovely, lovely, lovely lady.
He's like,
Got
where
it.
does she work? I'll send her flowers.
Cheryl, what's your favorite type of flower?
Right.
Asking for a friend as I order.
Nah, she's a lovely lady. She helped me out immensely the first time I entered because I had like 55 different questions. And yeah, she took the time to help me out, and it was really nice. So yeah, I think very highly of her. I say hi to her every year at the fair, and yeah, she's just a lovely lady.
Yeah, what you don't know is the cutoff was 56. You hit your threshold. When you got to question 56, she was going to tell you no.
Right. Well, I pretty much have it down pat now, so I think I'm okay. Hey, at least I know when the due date is.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute, mic drop. Hey,
Touche, Sean. You get that one.
That's okay.
That's okay. You get that one. We'll give you that one.
You'll know for next time. I mean, it's
At least he didn't wait an extra week and tell you.
I couldn't have done that. That I would have felt horrendous if I found that I could, no. Because I wanted her to enter. I really, I wanted to see how we did against each other, and yeah, that would not have been right.
No, you're a gentleman.
No.
Well, I heard you
No.
also have something else in the quilt show, or in the state fair, rather. What else did you enter?
I made a dress-a-girl dress with my friend Donna a couple of years ago. She taught me how to make a dress, and it got misplaced, and
He found it.
I found it, and I figured, you know what? Let's put it in the fair and see what happens. Will we get a ribbon? I don't know. Well, stay tuned for details.
And please don't forget, everybody, after the fair, remind him to mail that to me.
What, the ribbon?
Either or.
Either or.
Some
Okay.
little girl will love to wear that
Yes,
dress.
I do need to mail it up to you. Yes, but I figured before it gets up there, like, how cool would it be? Hypothetically, if that has a state fair ribbon.
You can send the ribbon along. How sweet and generous of you.
Yeah.
Becca, I'm going to get a ribbon before you. Mine will just be in the category of dress.
All right.
I have not entered a state fair at all. So I'm looking forward to entering something one day.
Well,
the pressure is too great.
The hardest part is taking that first step and hitting the enter button and dropping the quilt off. That's the hardest thing. I chickened out the first time. There was a hurricane rolling up the coast that kind of just helped give me an excuse. But yeah, doing it the first time was the hardest thing. Now it's just like, okay, what am I doing next year?
So I'm gonna bite the bullet once. I think once I quilt Lincoln, my lion, legit lion, I might be gutsy. I might be gutsy then. We'll
Yeah,
see.
you may surprise yourself. Just give it a go. If you're on the fence about it, give it a go and just see what happens. If nothing else, you'll get some wonderful feedback from the judges. They're very nice. They'll tell you, hey, you did really well here. Like I found that my binding was actually good. I always thought my binding was not that great, but
Oh wow.
yeah, the binding they like every time. Well, they always told me the back, I had to hand stitch the back of the mitre corners, which I did this year. I'm very proud of myself. I'm really looking forward to seeing that feedback. But yeah, I mean, there's some stuff they'll tell you that you need to improve, and half the time you already know in your mind. And then sometimes you get pleasantly surprised on how well you're doing. So, if nothing else, you'll get a nice report card, and you'll find out where you can improve.
Yeah. I think it's just the nerve of
Oh, it
someone
is. Oh, yeah,
judging.
it is. It's very hard making yourself that vulnerable where you're just going to let someone else tell you what you did wrong. It's not easy. And I'd be lying if I said it was.
But in hindsight, I've entered many quilts now, and I love the report card. I really do. It really shows you where you do need to improve, but always remember it's only the opinion of one person. Don't let it define you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, where's
So
my
yeah.
very, very bestest friend?
Oh gosh,
Oh,
Jack's
Jack.
coming out
it is.
already.
Yep.
That's
Hey, I made
not
it, what,
good.
33 minutes? I'm doing good.
Oh, trust me, Jack visited over here within the first 5 seconds of sewing. So
Oh, I did that the other week. I was on a live, and yeah, first seam I stitched. I was like, okay, out he comes.
I was like, "Oh, nope, I don't want those two together." So let me.
Melissa says now they'll tell machine stitch miter corners are just fine. Yeah, it's some shows don't care, some do. Virginia does every year. Someone told me last year, hey, just glue it down with some of that magic glue stuff. They won't know the difference. She did. She saw it. But hey, I gave it a try. I was like, I don't want to hand stitch this stuff. So yes, if you think this is going to work, I'll give it a try. So yeah, always read your if you enter a show, always read the list of instructions because most of them are very, very similar, but some are a little bit different. So always read that because some shows are looking for particular stuff that the next one down the road might not be, like hand stitching the back of the mitre corners.
Here is one strip set.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, so
Those
pretty.
fabrics are really pretty. It's like a watercolor.
Yeah.
But I'm so
Sharon
happy
Wright,
to see this one get off my shelf.
Sharon Wright says, Stephanie, I really love your pattern. It looks like a rail fence on point, and I think I want to do that when I can sew again.
Cool. It's called Chill Out.
Chill out. Mitzi Land says that she got a ribbon for her cross stitch.
Oh, very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love cross stitch.
I don't think I've ever tried that, but it'd be something I'd be interested in giving a go one day.
Not it.
Not it.
Not it? Okay.
Just
Hey,
saying it never
not-
really came out. Sorry.
It did. It did. It came out.
She said, not it.
Not it.
Come on, Diamond. Don't you want to do a stitch along?
Nope. Not gonna do.
Sure you do.
No, honey, I really don't.
Hey, not every craft is for everybody. That's okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, Zaza says I can send it to her and she'll do the binding. Yeah, I think the postage over to Scotland and back would be a little much. I did actually hand stitch the binding and I hand stitched the sleeve, the hanging sleeve on the quilt this year. The last few years I've machine stitched it. This year I figured, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right this time. So I'm very interested to see what they say. They may say my hand stitching looks like a 4-year-old gorilla did it, and I'll be like, okay, well, I knew that already. So, yeah, you never.
Nothing you didn't already know, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. We will see. But no matter what, it's gonna be fun.
All right.
Oh, and I had the nerve to have on black.
Put an apron on, girl. Put an apron on.
You know, I should have put my apron on.
Put an apron on it.
I love the colors that are in this jelly roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost to bobbing, chicken bobbing.
Yeah, it's like, this is one of them.
Oh, pretty.
And
nice.
Just all subtle.
Ooh.
Oh, that's really pretty.
Camera will show it eventually. There we go. Oh,
yes.
Come on. Yeah, so.
Nice and muted colors.
Yeah, it's a grunge, which is nice. I've always wanted to work with more grunge, and it's a junior jelly roll, so yeah, it's not super big, but it's got to do what I want it to do, and I'll probably have plenty left over. I could probably make a second one.
There you go.
Yeah, Karen T says every judge is different. That's certainly true, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, just read the rules, and sometimes you don't know until you enter the first time and find out what those little things that particular judge is looking for.
Right.
Which, is a little frustrating, but you live and learn. Okay, let's see.
The thing they get me, like, with some of the rules that they'll have, this was what will be my downfall. They'll say the quilt has to be made within a certain amount of time, like 3 years, 2 years. And I'm like, look, I made the quilt and posted it when it was a flimsy, but I didn't finish it until like 5 years later. But
well, as far as I'm concerned, I think that is when it's been completed. So I mean, if you started a quilt in 1997 and you finished it this year, and they say it has to be completed or finished or made within this time frame, as far as I'm concerned, put it
it's
in.
done.
And really, how are they going to know? They don't do carbon testing on the cotton thread to find out when it was stitched or quilted.
And honestly,
see, my problem is I have posted it on social media. People are like, oh, she made that flimsy or that top back and such and such.
Well, I don't.
They're not specific enough to say that, though.
Now, Becca and Donna might be different because they're more famous than us, but I think you and I are small enough fish in the ocean that they wouldn't.
Right.
No, I think it's the date it was finished. It's always
I really do.
Date that the last stitch goes into the quilt.
When that label goes on, that's your finished date.
I don't put labels on my quilts.
So I can put Sprite, since I finished Sprite. I can put Sprite in there just for a beginner part of like free motion quilting. Dang it, our state fair just ended.
71.
Get ready for next year.
That's right. That's right.
What am I going to do here?
I don't know. What are you going to do there?
Oh, I didn't do what I was. This might be a happy accident.
Happy accidents sometimes make the most beautiful quilts.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do.
72. FYI, Donna Jordan Fabrics, you told me to cut 9 2.5-inch strips, and I did it out of 7 and change. So, just saying. I cut a little bit more efficiently than your pattern said, and I might be a little proud of that.
And I'm going to tag her in this so we can say.
I already did.
Okay, so I'm not the only person in the world that gets excited when you use less fabric than what they call for.
When you use what?
Less fabric. If they tell you like you need 2 yards of this and you only use like one and a third. Yeah. I thought I was the only weirdo that thought that was good.
It rarely happens. Because trust and believe me, I'm gonna mess up. I'll be like, oh, dag nabbit.
All right, let's see. I'm going to just cut my background jelly roll strips, which are these white first, before I do anything else. We're going to start with the small one.
Yeah.
So they want us to get 10 pieces that are 14 by 2.5. Great.
What have I done here? That. All right, Carissa says she loves your apron
Thank
that you're
you.
wearing, Miss Becca.
Shanka, shanka, shanka. I love it too. I got it off of Amazon. I got it off of the Amazons. And then I sewed a side piece here. So there will be a tutorial coming for how I did this.
Cool.
Very nice. Okay, so that goes there.
Sean, did you just slip
That
into
goes-
host mode? Looking at the chat.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I don't like silence in a live stream.
totally
So
fine.
yeah, no,
You're totally fine. I just think it's funny.
yeah, just yeah. Well, I'm used to being the host. I
I
very
know.
rarely go on the other channels. So.
Well, let's let you sit back and drink a cup of coffee, and I'll ask you some questions. How about that?
That's fine.
Let's let the audience get to know Sean just a little bit. All right, Sean, we're going to do rapid fire. Favorite color?
Okay,
Uh-oh.
red,
Red. Okay.
but I very rarely quilt with it
Oh, all right. Why?
because I like working the pinks and purples mostly. Like I love rainbow. Rainbow is my favorite quilting color, but if I have to pick, I like the range of purples and pinks in fabrics more so than reds.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, technically, pink is in the red family, and purple has
Right.
red in it. So there you go. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. That's a good thought. I hadn't thought of that.
Favorite pattern that you've ever made?
That changes. Probably the Wizard of Oz quilt that I just about done with the top. Yeah, I like working the tiny pieces.
There's nothing wrong with that. I do too. I need to do it more. Okay. All right. Favorite YouTube channel? This is a trick question. The correct answer is mine.
I have many.
Played the fifth, Sean. You're getting hooked.
No. The correct answer is the guy who sews.
Yeah, but for me to watch or to produce, like, yeah, that's a good, yeah.
I'm just messing with you. No, I couldn't think of another question, so I just threw that out there. All right, where do
I
you
figured
get
you'd
your...
ask about. I figured you'd ask me about my accent. Everybody else does.
Well, yeah, but
during
everybody knows that story. You're from
Okay, all right.
Australia, but we'll ask you again. Hey, why do you sound funny?
That's how I was brought up. No, I grew up in Australia, moved here in my young adult years. There you go.
So let's talk a little bit about that. What is the biggest thing that is different here that took you the longest to get used to versus Australia?
Crossing the street.
Really? Wait, hold on.
What?
Explain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, driving on the wrong side of the road, or the other side of the road, because I actually do believe the right-hand side of the road's the right side because we're all right-eye dominant. It's easier to see cross streets from the right, so I do believe the right-hand side of the road is the correct side. I know I'm probably upsetting a bunch of Australians and New Zealanders and Brits right now. I still love you all, but yeah, right side is the correct side. That took a while. Getting used to the dates, writing the month first took a long time. Counting American currency with the dimes being the smaller coins rather than the nickels took a while. But crossing the street, I still struggle with because when I grew up, I was taught to look to the right, look to the left, look to the right again because the traffic's going to be coming from your right-hand side because they're on the left-hand side of the road. I still struggle with that 22 years later. Not as often, but that's the thing that took me the longest.
I just press the button, and when it says walk, I just blindly walk into the street.
That's a good thing, but yeah, I'm too lazy to wait for that. So in most residential streets
you
don't have.
jaywalk. Oh,
Well,
okay.
on occasion.
No,
Hey, I came from a land of convicts, so like we do the occasion.
Sean, you ain't right.
Oh man. Okay.
Hey,
All right. How did you meet Miss Amanda?
we met online. by accident, and yeah.
How is that an accident?
Well, it's just like we weren't planning on doing it. Yeah.
Well, but you don't ever
Well,
plan on meeting anyone. Like, do you ever walk around and wait? Do you wake up one morning and go, "I'm going to meet the love of my life today, and her name is Amanda"? Like that.
Stop.
I don't know. I mean, people go to bars and clubs and that looking for that, and sometimes they find it. Or
Oh, okay. So you met her, you fell in love, but you
hmm
weren't online looking for love. You weren't looking for love, Sean. You just
correct.
found it in all the wrong
Yes.
places, looking for love in too many.
Becca,
No,
stop.
that's a great song, though. Okay, I get what you mean,
Yep.
but and that is still a good song. I'll stick to my guns on that one. Uh,
There you go.
all right, what about you, Stephanie? Favorite color?
of course, green,
Green. Why?
green.
Why?
Because my as a child, we were pretty much told our color, or if someone like a grown up said they didn't like that color, you were like almost, I'm not gonna say shunned, but you might as well have been.
Wow.
So when my grandmother was asking us our favorite color, I was afraid to say, at that time it was orange as a child. So I said purple. Everyone bought me purple everything. Wasn't even my favorite color,
Oh
but
my
that's what I
gosh.
said because it was my grandmother's favorite color. So I didn't want people to make me a black sheep. So I was just like, okay, never mind. So I said that. And then when I was very comfortable in my own skin and ready to really tell everybody really what my favorite color was, when I said it, they still, that's an ugly color. But now everybody likes the color. So it's really my favorite color now.
All right. Do you quilt with it? Or are you like Sean and you don't put it into anything because you want to save it all for yourself and nobody's allowed to have it?
I'm putting it in everything that I can,
Okay. Okay.
but not this quilt because it's blues. So
So we all know that you live in the Carolinas. Have you always lived in the Carolinas?
no, I am born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Stayed there until I joined the army. Lived over in Korea. I did some time in Japan and Hawaii and Indiana. And then I went back to Milwaukee and now I'm here.
Okay, so let's ask you the reversed question. When you were stationed in Japan, by the way, thank you for your service. When you were
Thank you.
Yes.
stationed
Thank you.
when you were stationed in Japan, what was the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that took you the longest to get used to over there?
Um, I want to say seeing people drive on the other side of the vehicle. That now when I was over in Korea, what got me was the mountains, having to drive like literally on a mountain,
Video a little bit.
or seeing
Video.
people instead of, this is going to sound morbid, instead of seeing people when they get buried this way, they
Uh-huh.
get buried this way.
Oh.
So when you see on the mountain, you see these little hills. I'm like, there's a lot of little hills over there. So that's how they bury people. I was like,
Oh my
oh my God.
gosh.
That
Sean,
was kind of weird to me.
do they bury people vertically or horizontally in horizontal?
Horizontally, like it is here. But it's interesting that Stephanie said about the driving on the other side of the car. I remember the first day I was here in the US back in 2000, we're driving on the DC Beltway, and there's all these cars going by, and I'm looking in like the right-hand side of the car where the driver's supposed to be, and it's empty. And I'm like, okay, we have not got to driverless cars yet, because this was 25 years ago. So yeah, that was weird. It took me a while to get used to that.
Yes. Or the other thing that got me definitely over in Korea, because Korea was the one that just like shocked me more than anything. You know how you're on the highway driving and might just say, we're gonna say it's a 2-lane, but you have people out there walking selling food or whatever, and you cannot hit them. I mean, you should not hit them. It's, it is a crime, but you have to really pay
Needs to be a crime.
attention. I mean, they're out there selling octopus. I mean, live octopus. They're sitting there walking, trying to sell you something as you're trying to drive home or
gosh.
wherever you're trying to get to.
My goodness.
So that was
Okay.
weird for me.
Listen, I'm going to tell you a story, then we're going to go on to Donna. We're going to ask her a couple of questions. When I first moved to DC, so I grew up outside of Detroit, lived there for almost 30 years, born and raised Detroit, Michigan, and I moved in 2005 to Virginia. I lived for a couple years in Southwest Virginia, down by where my mom lives. I lived in Abingdon, Virginia. And then I moved to Arlington. And within the first year of moving to Arlington, I got a speeding ticket. And my driving record was pretty clean. So, like, I lived my entire life in Michigan, never got a ticket. Moved to Virginia, get a ticket. So, listen, this is honest to God the truth. So, every morning I would wake up and I would go to work with a coworker, and we would carpool to a metro station, and then we would take the train in and go to work together. He lived about a mile from me, no big deal. So I would get up, I'd drive to his house, I'd pick him up, and then we would drive to a metro station, park the car, and get on the train. And at the time, there was a fort, there was some barracks that we would pass near the Pentagon as we were going to Pentagon City Mall. As we were pulling out of his apartment complex, I turned onto Columbia Pike in Arlington, Virginia, and the speed limit at that point where I was driving was 35. So I think I was doing like 40 or 42. I think it might have been 42. But he and I were just talking, and I'm new to the area. I don't know anything. I did not see the sign that said that the speed limit had changed to 25, and I'm still doing 42.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where you got me, okay? Because I didn't have lights flashing behind me. No. That's not how I got pulled over. An Arlington County police officer stepped out off the curb into my lane with a whistle and a hand. And all I could see in my head was, I'm going to kill this cop. I'm going to run over him, and I will spend the rest of my life in prison. I was terrified I would not be able to make that vehicle stop.
And that's the day you found out your brakes was good.
That was the day I found out my brakes were okay for another day. Yes. So I did stop. The cop did not get hit, but I think I probably pooped my pants. So, yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway.
And before you go to Donna, another big thing was when you go out to the club and you have to go to the bathroom, it's like one bathroom, and you have a divider, which is probably like almost like hip high. You have the guys on one side and the females on the other side, and you have the females have a hole in the floor.
What?
You have to squat. They squat to do everything. You had to squat. That's when I learned how to hold my earring. I was not, and I repeat, not squatting next to no stranger sitting right there who can see me.
Oh my gosh. What a crazy thing. I mean, I've heard squatting
and that was
is better.
in Chungcheong, Korea.
Not going there. All right, Donna, we're going to round this over to you now that we've talked about squatting and running over police officers.
You all have potty mouths. I don't know about you.
All right, let's start with an easy one. What's your favorite color?
Aquas and blues.
I girl after my own heart. Girl after my own heart. All right.
Absolutely.
Where were you born and raised?
Cumberland, Maryland. I was born and raised.
So let's talk about your accent.
I had a stroke.
No. You had a lovely accent before your stroke. We call it the Donna accent. People ask her all the time, "Where are you from?" She's like, "Maryland."
And they're like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
Here's my driver's license. Been here a while. Did you always live? Did you always live in Maryland, Donna?
No.
Where else have you lived?
Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Virginia.
I think that probably explains your accent because it's a mix of all of those. It's just a hodgepodge of Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, just all rolled into one.
In my formative years, Just
And
saying.
we all know that you have a lovely assistant with you when you are on lives most times, the one and only Joseph. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Joe?
Oh my goodness. He's my tech savvy guy. He is my everything. He's my one true love in life, and he's my partner. He's my ride or die, and he does everything with me and for me. I feel like a queen to him.
Cool. We love you, Joe.
He's sitting right here now.
With a big old grin on his face yet?
He's blushing a little bit, going, stop it. I got blessed. That's all I can say.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
That is a good thing.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised on how many people ask me if I'm from Boston.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I don't get that.
Me either.
Not at all.
Someone told me once, because I asked them, I said, okay, where are you getting this from? Because I hear this, more times than I care to count. And I think they told me something that's how I enunciate certain syllables that gives them the Boston vibe. And I was like, okay, well, that's weird to me. But yeah, I've been asked if I've been from Boston probably a couple of dozen times.
I don't think they've been to Boston.
Hello. Or
Beats me.
not a New Kids fan because that's not that accent.
I don't know, but yeah, it's
That's
weird.
not the
I get England, South Africa. England I get, it's close. South
Yep.
Africa, close again. New Zealand, very close. Like I have trouble telling the Kiwis apart from us. So, but yeah, the Boston one throws me.
Yeah, the Boston one would throw me too,
Interesting.
Sean. Like I think you're
Yeah.
spot on the money there. And that might just be because I've listened to Donnie and Jordan and Joe talk just a little too much. But I got that accent down, and it is not yours.
Right.
No, not on any level.
Like, that is not a New Kids on a Block accent. No.
Sandra Cedar says, Donna, we love your Joe.
He is amazing, is he not?
He
It
is.
is.
Sherry Marsh says, oh,
Hold on.
that's okay. Oh, she must be switching. Hold on, let me reassign her. Hold on 1 second. I'll assign to guest one. There you go. You're back.
Thank you, sweetheart. I had to change. My battery was dying quickly.
No worries. Sherry Marsh is in the chat. She says she lives in Thurmont, Maryland, and she sounds just like you. She said, Donna and I sound alike.
Pretty much. And where did she say? Thurmont?
Yep.
She's about an hour and some change from me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who else is an hour from you? Shall we tell them?
I can change again. See what?
Who you want to talk about? Who else is an hour and some change away from you?
Yes, my new bestie, Nicole.
Wave to Nicole Nunya.
Hi, Anya.
So my sister, who probably is not in the chat right now because I know she was watching a football game, but Nicole Nunya has been hanging out a lot with Donna. Turns out they only live an hour or so away from each other. Paula Whedon has a question for you, Stephanie. She says, where did you get your light bar?
This is by Daylight.
No,
It's called the Slim. I think it's Slim by Daylight.
I can't keep talking for a while.
It's the Slim light from
Yeah.
daylight, you said?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Was it expensive? Why'd you choose it? Talk to us about why the light is sitting there with your Juki. Why'd you go for it?
Because I have old eyes, and I chose this one. I had several other lights, but I like this one because it goes the length of my sewing machine.
Okay.
So it brightens up everything, because I don't know if you can see how it goes from all the way to back here. So by it
Yep.
being that long, it's brightening up everything.
I have one of those over
And
my cutting table.
yeah, and it has the different settings, like you can get it brighter, lighter, dimmer. Yeah, so.
Would you recommend
And
it?
yeah, I do. I do.
It's a
They
pricey
have one
investment.
that, yes, it is. They have one that stands on the floor. This is the tabletop version of it. Now, I did not just go out and get it. I wait to like around Christmas when they do the mega sales.
Ooh.
And who is it? That company, is it all stitch? They usually have a good sale like around Christmas.
Okay.
And that's when I got,
Paula says
when
that's
they're having
exactly
those
what she's
marathons.
looking. Paula said that's exactly what she's looking for. So thank you.
Mhm.
That's awesome. I have one of those on my Martelli table where my cutting and pressing station is over there, and it really illuminates that corner because it's kind of a darker corner in my sewing room, and it just brightens everything up.
Yes. Yeah. And I can take it, like when I'm doing my cross stitch, I will take it, and I have a stand for my cross stitch where I can it'll hold my frame for me, and I'll set it right over it, and I have no problems with seeing.
ND Quilter 1 says, I know Sean! He is a fantastic guy, and so is his family. They have been over here a couple times, so we have met them. I will miss her so much, though, as she lives in the same town we do. Oh, wait, no. Let me rephrase that. Let me reword it. I know, Sean. I guess, maybe. I'm not sure. Are you moving, Sean?
No, she was written in the chat earlier that her granddaughter's boyfriend is from Australia, so she understands the accent from me. And then he's waiting on a visa. He played basketball, I think, and is waiting for a visa to come back over to this side of the pond.
So
So
I
yeah,
just jumped into the middle of a conversation.
Yep.
That was not me. I'm sorry.
it's okay. Yeah, so no, I'm not planning on going anywhere.
Good. We can't let you leave.
No.
Yeah.
Gonna happen.
All right, Donna, how are you doing on your project over there?
It's going really well.
Okay.
I've got of my sets filled out. I am going to hold back one
Okay.
for that is undisclosed at this time. And now I am getting ready to size it and figure out my next move.
Okay. Sean, how's your project coming along?
I'm doing well. I'm about done one of the 4 panels or 4 sections of the bear paw. So this
Oh,
is one
cute.
quarter of it. I haven't put the sashing or anything else in yet. I'm working on the second one of these. But yeah, it's turning out really, really nicely. I'm really happy with it so far.
Nice. Now, looks like you're making a bunch of half square triangle units. How are you making your half square triangle units? Any particular way?
My handy dandy trim lock.
Tell
And
us about
then,
that trim lock.
okay, so this is a product from Fallon and Matt over at So Be It Quilts. I love their products. I have their clapper. I have this trim lock, which is the long one for yardage. And these are really good for trimming down certain sizes. They come from 2 inch all the way up to 6.5. And so I'm making the 2.5 inch squares using this. It's super quick, super easy. Love it every minute of this. And then to make the half square triangles, I'm using the Creative Grids folded corner clipper. And this thing is magic for stitch and flip. I love this thing. If the dog chewed it up, I'd be very upset with the dog and be running out and buying another one the same day. I actually found this on it was Kendall. Kendall Taylor. He was using on one of his tutorials one morning when I was preparing for a podcast. And I saw that and I was like, I need one of those in my life. I went ahead and ordered one, and I have not looked back since. If you do any stitch and flip and you want a good one for trimming your corner, making half square triangles or any stitch and flip, you cannot go wrong with this. It's made my life so much easier.
Awesome. Stephanie, how's your project coming along?
Slowly but surely.
All right.
I am halfway through making the 8 strips. If you don't know, I sew very slow. Though it seemed like this machine is going.
Listen, there is no right speed. As long as you are enjoying the process of creating, you're doing it right.
I am. Then the fun part will come when I get to ready to start cutting.
See, we're doing this backwards. You're already doing that, and I'm over here cutting everything so that I can sew. Well, I have all of my background strips and my accent fabrics cut. Now I just got to cut my print jelly roll, and then I can start putting this together.
Oh, but I need a bacon break. Hold on 1 second.
Ooh, wait, hold on. How is a bacon break not included in every live stream?
Right?
Bacon break.
I just had to. My hubby just brought it down a little bit ago.
Hold on a second. Somebody said something. ND Quilter 1 says, Stephanie, I am also a very slow sewer. So you will have company there. Susan Radford says, go ahead.
I was to say, some of your buddies are like the Michael Schumacher and Mario Andretti of sewing. Like Donna is probably the Mario Andretti, and then but the Michael Schumacher has to be none other than the almighty and wonderful Tiffany from Tiffany's Quilting Life. I mean, she is the goat when it comes to fast sewing.
Yeah, she knocks it out. She doesn't. I've seen both Donna and Tiffany work behind the scenes, and it's not, well, with Tiffany, she makes the machine go as fast as it can go. She's not gonna lose it. Like, if that machine will be programmed to go 1,500 stitches a minute, she's doing 1,500 stitches a minute. But she also, she's got to make it sing, but she's also going to, absolutely every single time, she's going to streamline everything that she can do and assembly line it and cut out steps that just slow her down. She's got a rhythm, and she just gets into the zone. And it's honestly, if you guys haven't checked out her channel before, which I'm sure you all have, she deals with MS, and she uses quilting to help her push through pain and anything else that's going on in her life. So it really is a form of therapy for her.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I love watching her. So just how well she does it.
Yep. Absolutely. Donna.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of quilting being therapy, you mentioned earlier you had a stroke. How have you found quilting has helped you with your recovery?
Oh, good one. I'm still struggling in a few of the areas. Things still take me a little bit to figure out, per se. I think my physical therapy, I'm right on track, but some of the alphabets, per se, like, let me see. How do I want to word this so I don't look silly? Things like E's, F's, and a few of the alphabet look funny to me now since this stroke.
Okay.
So I'm working on speaking and things like that. I have to really I give kudos to my therapist, everybody that's helped me with my recovery. It's been something I wouldn't wish on anyone, but I know I'm going to sound silly in saying this, but without God in it and Joe at my side, I couldn't make this recovery the way that I have.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That makes sense to me.
You have also been doing a special, you've been talking about this openly on your live streams about how the live chat when you're doing a live stream helps you a little bit with your recovery. You want to touch on what you mean by that?
Yes, my speech therapist, because I still have issues with some words and reading comprehension. It's that side of the brain that was really affected. Um, basically, I do a lot of word games during the day, and my therapist and Joe and we talked, and we're doing trivia. And my moderators have pitched in, and they give me in my chats. If you're not subscribed, please do. It would be a pleasure to have you, and you'll see what I'm talking about because the visual of it might not make sense. But they give me what we've dubbed as word of the day, and they each get a good word, 3, 4, 5 syllables sometimes, and they give it to me in the chat, and I have to really focus, concentrate, and make the word come out right. And if I don't, I get a ding on my phone on the back end, like, no, 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 do it. Or if I get it right, they give me the thumbs up in the chat. And then we've also started because of me needing some more help, we've started a Sunday morning segment. It used to be my crochet time because I really needed the help with my left hand. But we've segued away from that because I don't have the feeling in my hand and fingers, but I have the movements.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's real weak yet as far as lifting and things, but it's coming. And so I'm more focused on mind. So Joe and he and we were going to do trivia.
Mm-hmm.
It forces me to read the cards out loud and understand what the contestants are reading or answering. So that's where we're at.
So if somebody wants to catch your trivia or learn more about it, where can they, what does that look like? How do they play? How do they participate? Where do they watch it? All that stuff.
My channel, Handmade by Ying, with
Okay.
Donna, first and foremost. And I'm sure Becca has got my link in there. I don't see the chat.
Yeah, that's fine. We got it.
And just come Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock. We do have subscriber mode only on due to trolls all over the YouTube. So you have to come early enough you can get in so you can guess in the chat. From time to time, I do give chat members a little gift card for guessing it right sporadically. But we're on week 2 tomorrow with 4 contestants. And week 3, the highest 2 will move on to the final round on week 4. I ask, I believe there's 6 cards. I got to do math. 6 cards, and we did 12 of the cards. So that's how many questions we did in an hour. And last, I didn't do the math, so you just have to do the math. And so it goes really fast. And if you guess wrong, I take away a point. You guess right, you get a point. It's just fun. And it's a good way on Sunday mornings to wake your brain up before you head off to church or whatever you're going to do. Church, sewing room, come hang out with me, whatever.
No problem.
Thank you, Becca, for giving me that time to.
You're welcome. Dragonflies for Donna said, Donna, you do not sound silly. You are an inspiration and you are educating people.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that.
Thank you all very much.
Yes.
There's also another comment in here that I think you'll find interesting. Grandma D said, my son had a brain aneurysm and he struggled with reading and numbers in the same way. I helped him. I worked with him. I worked with him playing identifying cards, reading, and other things to help, and now he is totally independent again.
Amen.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome.
Amen.
It takes a lot. We didn't know the extent of damage and things like that, but I thank God every day I was home, because had he not be home, the outcome would have been much different.
Yep.
Yes.
Of him, all the thank yous, because it was right time, right moment. He was home and able to get me the help I needed. So for the rest of my life, I'll always be indebted to him and the good Lord. They
Right.
got me to the hospital in time, the right medicine on board, and everything worked out just the way the Lord wanted it to.
Absolutely. When I'm sewing, you guys, can you guys hear that? If it is, I can
No.
stop.
Nope, you're good. Keep going. You're fine.
Excuse me, you're not going to find a reason to quit stitching. Get to work.
No, I didn't want to be rude if they were trying to hear you and they hear. I don't want them to do that.
Amy Dement is asking me, Becca, are your strips more purple or more blue? They are lovely either way. I think there's probably more blue in here than there is purple. And D Quilter says, amen, Donna.
Thank you.
All right, these are my strips, and the last part of cutting this pattern out is going to be to figure out which strips I want. So I got to do some thought, and I don't know that I'm ready to do that.
You've got to do what?
I got to think. So I need 6 of these strips to be set apart to be 37 inches.
Calculator.
Oh, okay. So I see where those are going to go in the pattern. So I'm going to pick out, and I can't show it easily without spotlighting, but if you were to get the pattern and download it, there are some strips that just go the entire width with no accent fabric in between. So as you're looking at this, you can kind of see across the middle of the quilt there. There's almost like a little waveform that kind of happens in the middle. That's that purple accent fabric. So I know that we're going to build out those strips, and there's going to be a solid piece of fabric on either side of that. So I'm going to look really quick and see how many strips I need for this all together. So it looks like I'm only going to need 31 for the quilt. So I'm going to think about this fabric and how it plays in with the fabrics that are here. And I'm going to go for things that have a good contrast. So I've got this bit, this extra stripe, and I'm just going to lay this across. And where I don't have a lot of really good contrast or blending, I'm going to probably pull that strip out and aim to keep 31 for my waveform, and the rest will be the bindings. So I don't like the way these 2 blues look up against it. So I'll pull those out. That's 2. I also don't love, in the same manner, that blue, although I do think it has a little bit more of the purple in it. Hold on. Yeah, I think if we got to pull something out, it's probably going to be these 2. So how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. I got to pull out 3. Okay, so we've got 4 of those. I don't want 4. All right. Ooh, sorry. Listen, like this is the live stream where you get to watch Becca count. 2, 4.
I thought you were teasing me and saying, Donna, count along with me.
8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Okay, I need to get rid of 3 more. My eye is immediately going to maybe this one, but
All right.
definitely these 2. Okay, there we go. That's going to be my palette, and I can't show you because I can't slide it. Well, yes I can. Yes, I can. Hold on. Look at what I can do. Look what I can do. I feel like a magician. You know the trick where you pull the tablecloth out from under the table?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I just did the quilting version of that in reverse. So this is what I'm thinking for my palette. What do you think?
I like
Looks great.
it. It is very it looks good, cohesive together. I like it.
There we go. That's what we'll do. Okay. So now I just got to figure out which of those strips, because the very first thing that I need to do is figure out which 6 of these I want to stay whole. And that's, I'm going to go with these beautiful ones, like the big print. So that's 2. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to pick one of this. I need 6 of them, so that's 2. I'm going to pick one of these beautiful purples. 3. 4. 5, maybe. And then maybe a nice big, well, we'll do this one as 6, maybe. Right in the middle. No, we won't.
So this is my update.
Oh, nice.
Nice, Sean.
So yeah, I think it looks really nice. And with that, I am going to duck out just a little bit early because I thought this was going to be, roughly an hour or so, and I need to make dinner for the family. So I'm going to duck off and see them. But thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this. I had so much fun doing my very first Jelly Roll project. And it was so fun hanging out with each and every one of you. So thank you all again.
You're so welcome, Sean. I'm glad you were here.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
All right. Well, I'll see you all later on, and I'll probably catch the replay for the little bit that I missed.
All right. Bye, Sean.
All right. You have a good day.
Bye,
Thank
Sean.
you. Bye.
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 All right. Is Teresa Louise still in the chat, I wonder?
I don't sit chat.
No, I'm asking the chat to find out. Hey, I'm going to take just a really quick bio break. I will be right back.
All right.
Sorry. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Have some fun.
I think she's out on us.
Let me mute this so that you guys
Oh my
don't get
goodness.
feedback.
Commercial break, or are we actually live?
Okay, there you go. I'll be right back.
Don't know.
Be good then.
Right? No. Digging for gold, Donna.
All right. I must be good. You guys keep it. You make it so tough.
I have 3 more sets to make. Yay.
I tell you what, I'm really glad I'm doing this project. I'm liking these colors the way they're playing together.
I know this year for Christmas, I'm changing my colors. I had the same colors for the past, we've been here 7, so about 11 years. So I am changing it. I want to go back traditional. I want to go back old school. So I want green, red, and those 2 colors. But then I have to throw my black in there because I don't know what it is, but my black and white has to complement that red and green. So,
Yeah, we live in Bowling Green, so my granddaughter, Peyton, for the last 13 years, we've had, I want to say, probably 10 years. She was about 3. She picked out these special green ornaments, her and Joe. So we have 2 trees, one in our dining room and one in our living room. And
ooh.
we call it kids tree, but she's now migrated because she's a teenager now into, she takes over the living room tree.
Oh,
And I just let her have at it. But it'll be a green tree with bright white lights. It'll be cute. I have to share that over on my channel.
yes.
I tell you,
And
they're going to look cute, and I can't feel cute in what I'm doing because I don't know.
Well, I'll you can slap me on the hand if you would like, or I'll take the hand slap. I will tell those that are here tonight that what Donna is working on is for the Quilt Miss collab this year. She is participating in it, and she is working on a project that will be unveiled during Quilt Miss. So if you want to see what her finished project looks like, you're going to have to tune in for her video in December.
Yep.
ooh.
So I figured, life is really busy with all of my therapy, so why not utilize this time to get double work done? So
Well, and Donna, honestly, it's almost October. So
Yep.
that's not a bad way to look at it, right? Like you've got to start
Right.
working on it because you still need time to put the quilt together, to get it finished, quilted and bound, and
Right.
make the video on it. So you're right on schedule. I am working on mine behind the scenes as well.
Yep. And I kept
I'll be starting on mine.
set back that I'll have for Joe when we're able to record together.
That makes sense.
Behind the scenes, because I honestly don't know what I'm making yet.
That makes sense.
Will not be a full quilt this year, I can tell you. It's going to be amazing, but it's not going to be a quilt.
I don't think I'm going to do a full quilt. I think I'm going to make a wall hanging or a table topper or something else that is quilted. I know what I'm going to do. I just don't think I'm going to turn it into a full-size quilt.
Yeah, I'm doing a craft.
Wait, I'm
I'm
so
not doing a
happy
quilt.
I'm so happy I heard you say the FT at the end because I thought you were going to say I'm doing crack.
Crafts.
Silly girl.
Yes.
Hey, Mary, if you're still
season.
Mary, if you're still here, do you want to join us on camera? We've got a 4th spot. We'd love to have you for the last bit of the live stream if you want to sit and chat instead of typing everything out with your broken and dislocated fingers. Let me know. Just text me if you do, because then I don't have to find it in the chat.
That or she can just, hello, hello, hello.
That might take a while to get to me. She's in a different state.
I know, I was playing.
Suzanne Taylor is asking me who is hosting Quilt Miss. I believe it is the Colorblind Quilter and Scrap Fabric Love.
Yep.
So all the details will be unveiled soon, but you got to get a head start on the projects.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I have to go shopping.
You just want another reason to go shop.
No, because I don't, well, I don't. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. I just saw something. Maybe.
I know how much fabric you need, and how cool would it be if I mail you something and you utilize it. No, I can't do that. But this Quilt Miss,
I have to do some research.
Listen, last time Donna swapped fabric for Christmas for a Quilt Miss collab, just say no. Just say no. Just say no.
No, thank you.
There you go.
But you didn't like the fabric?
No.
No.
No, I didn't. Nah. Thank you very much.
I'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this?
It's like, it's bad when you're afraid to open the box. But brought us to me ugly fabric, so trust me, it went out ugly fabric.
I'll put it in the chicken coop. I'll make curtains for the chickens.
Really?
They would not mind.
Ibby D in the chat said, a reason to shop? What? Why? Who needs a reason?
Right?
New York Beauty put in the chat, Donna is already done, LOL.
I do pre-plan my projects.
Sylvia Martinez wants to know, Stephanie, can you please show one of your strip sets?
Sure.
Very pretty.
Hey, good on me, by the way. I was a little delayed there.
Need to see it again?
No, I told Mike, I said, quit picking on me.
Oh. I just want to know when he's going to show up for the trivia on Zoom, because
he is afraid of you.
Me? I think he needs to be afraid of Zaza. She was up there too.
Yes. But yes, everybody please, Becca, make sure you drop that link. Tomorrow morning, my contestants are going to go head to head, like I said, for the week 2, and I kid you not, Becca, I have Giovanna, Zaza, and Brenda C. And I can't wait to see how this week will play out. Becca had 26 and Zaza had 23. Giovanna and Brenda had 5 each for points. So tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so, tomorrow.
I love ya. Tomorrow. You're only a day away.
Beautiful, funny.
Yeah, somebody in the chat's going, Becca, stop singing. It's probably my mom.
I think this is going to be my favorite strip set so far. I'm almost done.
I want the 20 inches.
Ooh, show mercy.
Right there. And right there. I am cutting my beautiful jelly roll into the 20-inch pieces that I'll need. And then I'll be able to start sewing. What? A 2-hour live stream. What'd you do? Oh, I just cut fabric. That's all I did. Did you sew? Not a lick. Okay, 16. Got it. Only a day away.
Uh-oh, you planting earworms.
You're welcome. It's what I do. Welcome to my channel where quilting and earworms are combined.
Earworms?
Earworms. Earworms. Earworms.
I think it's funny.
We've probably got about another 5 or 10 minutes here, because I think once I get these cut, I think I'm going to call it for the live stream, and I'm going to go spend some time with the family.
Awesome.
So I'll give you a couple.
Go
ahead. What?
Play some mind games with Jason so you'll be prepped and ready for tomorrow.
This is my favorite one so far.
I really the way that turned out, Sassy. It's so pretty.
It's very pretty.
Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, only got 2 more to go, but I'm stopping right now because these shoulders are tight.
Get us.
Gosh. Ugh, I haven't sewn in so long. Not
It's
like straight sewing like this.
So, Stephanie, you took a break from YouTube.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. I think I need a fifth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 6 here. You took a break from YouTube. Do you want to tell us how that's going? How are you feeling? When do you think you're going to be back? Like, you don't have to tell us why. Just tell us how your hiatus is going.
what you really
So,
like.
if you don't know, and I share it on my channel often, that I do suffer from PTSD. So I have not a lot. When I do go into a state of PTSD, I don't have any control of how and how long things happen for me. I'm letting it play out. I did put things in place in my life to ensure or hope that I can use as forms of therapy. Like I have my animals. You guys heard me talking about chickens earlier. I have chickens. I do behavioral health, health, mental health, and all that. But I had been having a lot of like down days, but I'm starting to spiral back up. Praise God. Because it got scary there for a second. So I'm back up on the up, and I'm, hoping to be back soon. Hopefully the first week in October. I was going to try to come back next week, but I didn't want to come back the week of my birthday and be like, oh, I'm back, and then really not feeling it.
Right.
So I'm going to wait until the very first Tuesday in October. That's what I'm thinking. So.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
And we're glad that you are doing better, feeling better.
Yes.
And keeping that socialized is just something that people can remember for when they do see you have to take those very important breaks to prioritize your own mental health over anything else.
Absolutely. Because if you don't know, especially those who are not in front of the camera, it's not even it's not like a bad pressure. But if you're trying to use it as a form of business, or if you're trying to use it as a form of getting, to a certain place where you want it to be, sometimes trying to meet all these goals and milestones can be a little overwhelming. Yeah. So I am learning. That's why when I did my intro, I am learning. I need to learn my lane, and I need to stay in it and be happy.
Yep.
So that's where I am, and I feel that I'm getting
yourself. Better. And just like with a quilt, you don't want to compare yourself to anybody else, right? Because your channel, your videos, it's all a creative process, just like quilting is. Your journey and your product is going to look different and feel different than somebody else's. And while what I put out might not be someone's cup of tea, what you do or Sean does or Donna does might be absolutely what somebody needed in the moment. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I have to be, and I'm needing to be okay with that. So that's where we are. And I am, at least I'm smiling. At least I'm not, as bad as it was. I'm coming, like I said, I'm on the upswing. So
good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, thank God every day for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am really happy to hear that. So we've got a couple of people in the chat that are letting you know that mental health is important and self-care is so important. So they're very happy to see that you have healthy boundaries and you are prioritizing your health and your mental well-being when it's needed. So sounds like the community is rallying behind you on that one, Steph.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right. I have got all of my fabric cut. Are you both at a good stopping point?
Shall we? And is.
All right, so let's do this. I will be working on the rest of my project offline, and when it's finished, I will reveal it on my channel. I probably need to get back into a healthy rhythm of doing a monthly recap video to help you see what I've been working on over the course of a month. I've not done that in a while, and sometimes it's just good to share those updates and just to give you those bite-sized project updates. So I'm going to try to commit to doing a recap video at the end of September that'll bring all of this into perspective. And I would really like, this is a goal, can't say I'm going to get there, I would really like to be able to show this quilt top on that list of things that I was able to wrap up in September. For Donna, we've already touched on this. Donna, where can they find your finished quilt project?
You'll be able to find mine in December in the 12 days of Quiltmas. And from time to time, I might just flash the fabric. I don't know.
So if you want sneak peeks along the way, need to make sure you're subscribed and you're watching her videos.
Absolutely. And I appreciate each and every one of you. And I pray that today was very fruitful and everybody had a good time hanging out with us. Becca, thank you for inviting all of us and putting this together for Jelly Roll Day. It's been a blast. And I look forward to things like this all the time.
Not a problem. All right, Stephanie, we got to round this out with you. Where are we going to see your project at? When is it going to be done? No pressure.
I will let you know when it's done.
There you go. And that's a healthy boundary to have.
I also want to say thank you for inviting me. And I did have a wonderful time and a good time sitting and sewing.
Your laugh is so contagious. And you sound sorry, I got a little choked up there, but your laugh is so contagious and you sound like the happy Stephanie. So I'm happy to hear you in a less stressed, better place. And I just pray that this continues for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us. From Sean, Donna, Stephanie, and myself, we hope you have a wonderful week. Don't forget to subscribe to everybody's YouTube channel so that you can see their projects when they're finished, and we'll catch you on the next live. Bye, friends.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to do the offline screen now, and I'll be right back.